how I built, painted, and organized this IKEA House to Coffee Nook. We assembled the 2 different size cabinets and then removed the baseboards to fit the cabinets tightly against the wall. For support and security, I added plywood strips across the back and built boxes out of 2x4s to go in the middle of the wall and at the ceiling, screwed into studs. Important to note, the top 3 cabinets are flipped upside down so the trim matches in the middle. I then screwed into every stud I possibly could because I don't want these things falling over, and I hid the 2x4s with really pretty fluted trim and crown. Some trim along the side and a ton of finishing work later, I was ready for paint. I chose this gorgeous charcoal blue from Magnolia called Coffee Nook. I started with Zinsser Bin Primer, a shellac-based primer. Once dry, I sanded it down with a fine grit paper and wiped all the dust off with a tack cloth. I used a brush for all the seams and used a roller for all of the flat surfaces. Allowing the paint to dry long enough between layers and fully cure after painting is huge, so make sure you follow the directions on the paint can that you're using. I will report back with how they hold up. Now for the section in the middle, the coffee bar. I started by staining the pole wrap dark walnut. I didn't need many nails because I used the shelf brackets to tack it down, along with this beautiful remnant piece of quartz that I got for $300 cut down to size. I stained the plywood dark walnut as well for the top and the bottom of the shelves. Once I added the top, I was able to screw in from underneath to add these really pretty brass poles as little guardrails. After adding the bottom, I was finally able to make it look pretty by adding those 1x2s to the face of each shelf and staining them dark walnut. This last step was a little questionable because I drilled in through my nicely finished cabinets to get a metal rod all the way through underneath the shelf to hang mugs from. I rub and buffed the rod gold to match and then got to decorate. Now to organize. One tall cabinet is dedicated to kids stuff. The 2 tall top cabinets are dedicated to all of my project supplies and tools. It helps keep the project piles more under control. And then the last tall cabinet is what started this whole hack, a charging station for my vacuums. Extra drinks under the coffee bar and paper towels above. The rod from the coffee mugs actually helps to hold my level in place. There's only one outlet on this wall, so cords go through to a power strip in the bottom cabinet. This is where we power the coffee maker and the vacuums. I love how everything has a place. It is so functional, but also beautiful to look at.